I'm Don Johnson, I'm the party's executive director, so I'm a full-time staff person. We here at our local party, we're concerned about not just stuff going on nationally, although that's certainly of grave concern, also at our state legislative level, and also at our local level. And for us, kind of the thing we can have the biggest impact on are these local races that are coming up on August 5th. What we're about as an organization is voter contact. Most marketing professionals will say that you need between 5 and 7 touches. You know, somebody has to see that message at least 5 times in order for them to actually kind of catch on to it. The same thing is true for a campaign. So part of what we're learning about today is how to make one of those touches by telephone. In an election like this, most of these August kind of mid-year elections, around 28, maybe 25% turnout. That means every person we turn out, it's like it counts 4 times. You know, it's even more than you know, in a presidential election you have 60% or more turnout. So everybody you get out, their vote is very, very important. Today we're going to talk about something new that we're doing, and of course that is the Callfire system, because it allows us to do some things we haven't been able to do before. One of those is an incentive program. And now, if you go through the Callfire system, we'll know about it. So that means we can reward you for your time and for making the calls. If you make 100 dials, you get a yard sign that looks like that. It says "Fight Back, Vote Republican." 250 calls, you get a free T-shirt.
Right.
That one there. 500 calls, you get lunch with our Chairman Lang Wiseman. We're also trying to arrange a special guest that you can have lunch with as a grand prize, and we'll be announcing that shortly. We're also going to have a leaderboard on our weekly email. It's mainly just because so many of you give so much of your time that the least we can do is just give a little bit of recognition back to you. So let's get into it. We're going to go right to our trusty web browser, and you first go to callfire.com. You'll get a screen that looks exactly like this.
Got it right here.
And you go up here to the upper right-hand corner and go to Agents Login. Click on Agents, log in there. And it says, grab your phone, let's get started. The caller ID that the person will see when you call them is the headquarters number. So you don't have to worry about people calling you back at 2 in the morning, wondering who it was, or getting mad at you or anything. They'll call us instead. So it appears as a like it's from the headquarters. In order to log into this system, you will need the campaign ID. It's a set of numbers. Yours will be SCRP, and then your precinct number, and then Universe A. Now you put in your phone number. Don't put in the headquarters phone number. Don't put in anybody else's phone number. Put in the phone number of the phone that you want to use to make these calls. And then our passcode is GOP 2010. Put in your email address. Just make sure you use the same email address every time you log in, because that actually tells us who you are. So for our incentive program, you won't get any credit for it unless this is logged in with your email address that we can recognize as you. Now, people often ask, what is this hold music? Well, the hold music, actually the end user never hears the hold music. It's for your purpose. In the time, you won't ever hear the phone actually ringing the voter. You'll just hear this hold music, and then the hold music will stop the instant it gets somebody. So when somebody answers their phone, the hold music stops and you start talking, and then the hold music starts again. So you don't actually hear the normal sounds of phone calling. Now what it's going to do is call your phone, or in this case my phone, and it's going to give us a agent ID to put in the system. Here it goes. It's a 213 area code that the computer is calling you on. So we're going to answer that. It'll keep repeating that. Now this changes every time. This is the number that connects your phone with their computer system. So every time you log into the system, you'll have to type in the number that it gives you. And it'll just repeat that over and over again until you get it typed in right. And then you hit log in. And we're going to hit log in. It's going to go immediately to the main screen. Now you'll notice at the top it says now dialing. This is kind of the little window that shows you what's going on. It tells you the phone number that it's dialing, the last name of, in most cases, the voter. Here it just says Republican. The address and the precinct. And let's see. Now it'll immediately connect you with a voter, so be prepared to go. You do need to kind of follow this yellow script. We're going to try to get it to where you can just read it off the screen and do it that way. The problem is, for somehow the questions as they got put in here got a little bit out of order. So what you'll want to do is kind of prepare yourself for what you're going to say. So in this case, it's hi, I'm Don. I'm volunteering to serve the Republican Party to help organize our neighborhood for the August 5th election. Our Republican candidates need your help because Obama's trying to get his team elected in Shelby County, and we're doing what we can to stop him. You can shorten that or change that kind of to your own words. That's kind of a lot to say, but feel free to borrow some of those words. You basically just want to introduce yourself to the caller. You'll then want to go right into that first question. In fact, almost make it like your like it's a run-on sentence. Can we count on you to vote on August 5th or during early voting July 19th through 31st? The next question is, would you be willing to help contact your neighbors and remind them to vote? Third question is, we would like to send you updates about the campaign and future activities in our neighborhood. Do you have an email address I can send it to? Would you like a yard sign? Let me confirm your address. And at the end, you thank them for their time. The reason why I want you to read over this pretty carefully, even before you make your first call, is so that you kind of know what you're asking, and that way, even though this is a little bit out of order, you can still kind of quickly fill this in. Pretty much anything they tell you, put in that box, and then we'll process that afterward and try to figure out what the intent was. You then always thank the person for their time, even if they gave you a negative answer. Always say, please and thank you. When you're done, you can do one of two things. You can press end this call, and that'll hang up. That's if you want to go get a snack. Go to the fridge or something like that. That's essentially a pause button. If you want to move on to the next call, have an idea of what you might press? Press next call. That's exactly right. It moves at your own pace. I've been kind of using the example of, has anyone seen the I Love Lucy episode where you had the chocolate factory and all the chocolates were coming down the assembly line? This is not like that. You move totally at your own pace. And remember, don't hang up, as Mary Jane said, don't hang up. You make the controls over here, you go to next call. I want to point out one of the efficiencies in this system. One of the things that will save you some time. You never have to talk to an answering machine again if you don't want to. Because there's this button called Smart Drop. We actually pay a little bit more for this feature for you to be able to use this. But the minute you start to hear an answering machine recording, don't wait for the beep. But the minute you say, hey, this is a recording, you press that Smart Drop button, you'll start to hear your hold music. And the voter, once that beep occurs, will start to hear a pre-recorded message from Lane Wiseman. So you kind of understand how that goes. You don't have to worry about leaving the answer machine message. The computer will do that for you. The computer will wait for the beep. It'll leave the message, and you've already moved on to the next call. When you do use the Smart Drop feature, you do have to press Smart Drop and then press next call. Pressing Smart Drop will kind of stop the call you're on, but you still have to press next call to move to the next call. When you're done making calls, after you've of course made hundreds and hundreds of calls for a particular day, then you might take a break for a minute or two. You can press this log out button, or at that point you can actually hang up and it'll pop up on the screen. It's like, do you now want to log out? And you say yes. One of the questions I was asked earlier, and it was really good in the earlier sessions, is when should you make calls? Between 9 a.m. and 8 p.m. is a pretty good time frame. How often should you call, or?
Yeah, what's the time, whatever you do?
As
I mean, is it like a full-time job deal, or is it 3 hours, 4 hours?
You can call.
1 hour?
You can call from, again, 9 in the morning until
no less than 40 hours a week.
That's right. 40, that's just a start. Yeah. Now you can please do, I mean, bear in mind, we can't go back and make these calls after the election. So we have a short number of, a short amount of time, and we can make it count. And that's my favorite question of the day, actually, because we need to devote as much time to this as you possibly can, unless you're volunteering for a candidate or for us in some other way. Like if you do want to go door to door, then you put the phone down and go door to door and then come back to the phone.